Sharma and back with another interview with Dr. N.T. Rao. Yes guys, the Honorable Vice-chancellor Dr. N.T. Rao carries with him nearly 4 decades of rich experience, including but not limited to the fields of education, training, strategic planning, accreditations, institutional governance in India and abroad. He is passionate and respected teacher who experimented with several new instructional methods to deliver lectures. Dr. Rao has maintained an excellent network with his former students from even the days when social media had not taken roots. Guys, let's have a word with the man himself, who has an esteemed experience of 35 years and counting. Welcome, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for being there. My first question is, tell us about your childhood, sir. Like, you were a nerdy kind of person or you were naughty?
Well, when you said childhood, I must mention that I come from rural India. I hailed from the state of Andhra Pradesh, bordering with Tamil Nadu, a village that's closer to the city of Chennai rather than the then capital of Hyderabad. While I was growing up as a rural student, like any student who comes from that parts of the country, I would say that I was a studious kind of a person. I was definitely not a nerd. And probably I'm one student which none of my fellow students liked, but all the teachers liked. But when I came into engineering, the roles reversed.
Okay, well, I want to ask you why your fellow students don't like you?
I was always topper. I was not allowing anybody to come anywhere near. And to such an extent, I used to complain to the teacher, sir, those two students are copying from each other, not from my answer book. So that's the kind, who would like a student like that?
Oh shit, sir. Well, being a backbencher, I will also hate. But
I made up in my engineering education. I completely reversed the role and I was a backbencher.
Oh, really? Wow, sir. Okay, so sir, since childhood you want to become a teacher? I mean, being us, when we are growing up, like some children say ki we'll become a, engineer or a doctor or something. So you always wanted to become a teacher?
Probably during my engineering, the first seats were there. No matter what subject is, whatever I understood, I thought I was able to tell my friends well. And it's a funny situation where one day before the exam, there were 15, 20 of my classmates saying, hey, you teach us this. I said, tomorrow morning is the exam. They said, no, it doesn't matter. You'll anyway get enough marks, but make us pass. You teach us. So that I thought probably somewhere back of my mind, I think I can convey well, I can teach well. So the first seats were sown there.
Oh. So, sir, tell us about the journey of 35 years. I mean, I'll repeat, guys, 35 years of experience, sir. I mean, wow, sir. So, share your experience of 35 years.
Well, again, the 35 years experience can be spoken in one word and it can be taken a few days to explain. But I would like to look back as a person who really was lucky in the world that I only had positives in life. Of course, everybody would have had challenges, but I see them as experiences the life has taught me. 35 years, maybe I began with my first, whatever the job you may call, was an engineering college in the state of Andhra Pradesh nearby my town. And then I thought I would need to improve my skills, so I went for my master's, and then I shifted to Kurukshetra. I think my largest stint was there. This is one place, REC Kurukshetra then, now it's NIT Kurukshetra. I learnt a lot. I feel that I learnt more from my students than anything else. It's the students who taught me. You might say why it's important. I think that's where I thought the most important thing for a teacher is not to come teach in the class and then go back. Identify the student, relate with the student, where to give that human touch. Because you assume that all the 60 students in the class are listening, so all of them should understand what I teach That's one aspect. But if I also understand why he's not, I think I could go to the class and ask every student. Some students say, "Are you okay? Everything is fine at home." So this is one thing that I gave that human touch to students. That's when I started. I still practice that. I feel that any person who comes and meets me is a human first. After that, he has a name, he has a position, he has a standing. So that's where I think REC Kurukshetra taught me a lot. And I would always be indebted to all the students of REC Kurukshetra because I spent major time. Then also, when I talk about the journey, from there I went to one institution in Africa, selected by Government of India to be the principal of an engineering institution. This is one place that taught me humility and empathy. The other person is as important. I think I already had that idea for that one should be seeing the other person as a human. There I saw presidents of the country just like in a queue like anybody else, or say maybe every individual is important. That on the human side. When I look at the professional side, that's a beautiful experience where you set the targets and you achieve them. And to achieve them, you need to monitor. So every individual in the organization has a target to achieve. And this was a beautiful exercise, and I am lucky that I've had an opportunity to cascade this to the entire country as the top 1% public servants of the country and top 0.5% expatriate officers of the country.
Oh, wow, so
And then I would also say that even if you may call it audacious, you call it as whatever, to be ranked as an outstanding officer, and then maybe to be ranked as an able leader by the government for an expatriate officer, and being an invitee to the presidential palace for my achievements, I think that were the biggest takeaways. And I still practice if that particular learnings, that when you have a task, it's easily achievable if you set the task. My next big experience was at VIT University of Vellore. During my tenure, when I was even made within 5 years, I was made an advisory committee member, advisor to the chancellor, and I was felicitated during the silver jubilee celebrations of the institution for what I've done for the institute. For example, as a ABET accreditation officer, I was instrumental in bringing ABET accreditation to India. The first programs in India were accredited outside the US were in India, and that was in VIT Vellore when Dr. N.T. Rao was ABET accreditation officer. And my international experience and then the quality teaching learning practices were one big takeaway from VIT Vellore. I think when you look at an institution, each institution has some good practices, and of course, I'll come to Chandigarh University a little while later. So that's one major part of my journey. Then I also had an opportunity to work for a consultancy company in Delhi. This gave me an opportunity to practice myself as a civil engineer, and my shift from VIT Vellore also something I need to mention here. A professor who taught me when he was at IIT Roorkee and IIT Bombay, and he happened to visit that place, and he said, as an expert on the panels of World Bank and Asian Development Bank and African Development Bank, you should not be limiting yourself in a corner of India, and especially 2011 to 2021 being a decade of road safety for the world. 206 member countries have signed this MOU in UN. You have a bigger role to play for the world. So I came to Delhi, and I'm happy that I could travel to several countries and give my advice to the many governments on how road safety can be achieved and human lives can be saved on the roads. And I was also given some challenging ones like intelligent transportation systems. I was a project manager, and World Bank in its aid memo mentioned that this is the project that should be replicated all over the world. That was a success, I would say. And I also had a major role as an education expert for an Asian Development Bank project, where we were making a difference to the left-wing extremism affected states by improving the rural connectivity, bringing the people into the mainstream. I look back, I think this is one of the major ones, maybe in terms of project cost, in terms of other deliverables, probably it may be or it may not be something which is high in the list. But if I look at that, imagine situation where we're trying to solve one of the major problems the country was facing at that point of time, and bringing rural India to mainstream, and then through rural connectivity, we had a plan for improving rural roads in 5 states, and then we had a technology also, technology transfer. So this is one. These are the ones I would say at Delhi consultancy experience gave me. I had many learnings from there. And before that, I think I'll try to be brief. My next 2 assignments was I was at Narsimha. And Narsimha, when I took over, I said, let's go for ABET accreditation. And all of them, they said, what is this? What is this ABET accreditation? We have not even heard. And we don't even have NBA. How do we get ABET? And from that situation, from zero or from a scratch, I could work towards lead the teams. And we could get 6 years of accreditation, which is a credible achievement for a 12-year-old institution. The most satisfying factor for me would be when I joined my last mail to my faculty members when I was under all the staff members when I was leaving. I said 3 years ago I came here. I was given a School of Engineering team, but I'm leaving behind a family of engineering, family of School of Engineering. So I think that's, to take all of them on board, recognizing each individual for him or for his talent or for the ability or weakness or strength, and take them along, motivating them by patting them back. So this is one achievement I would say, that is creating a family where they looked at me as a head of a family. So when I look back at my 35 years, I think it's a beautiful journey, which was a very rewarding one, I would say. And it was made this beautiful journey. It was not my journey that was made beautiful. It was made beautiful by each and every one who I associated with in this journey.
Seriously, sir, we are lucky to have you. Even Chandigarh University is lucky to have Dr. N.T. Rao, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
You,
so who's your mentor? I mean...
I don't know.
Really?
Whether I'll pick one. As I mentioned, I've had so many influences on my life. I would say my students. My students of last 35 years. Each student mentored me. Each student taught me. I think, more than my teachers, more than the classrooms, more than my life experience, I think if I have to have I must be one teacher who would say that I was mentored by my students.
Wow, sir. I mean, seriously, your students are lucky to have you, sir. Sir, what do you attribute your success to?
The people who helped me to work towards my success. It's the people whom I work with.
They're a team.
It's all. I don't think that I achieved anything in my life single-handedly. It's all wonderful people have been part of this journey.
Wow, sir. So what's your life philosophy?
Be a human being. As simple, as basic as be a human being, and the world is a beautiful place to be.
What is the biggest career advice you have got and pass on to next generation?
Once again, believe in yourself. Miracles
do happen.
Miracles
I mean,
happen.
You're sitting next to me. It's a miracle, guys. It's a miracle. He's sitting
definitely.
next to me.
No, not at all.
Sir, I'm truly blessed. Seriously,
Not at all.
Thank you, sir. You're
if
so
you dream
humble.
something, I can tell you, you can achieve. One example is in front of you.
It's
If
me.
somebody told me that 30, 40 years ago, someone who is coming from rural India in a village, studying in Telugu medium, he didn't even know what English language films will be till he joined engineering. I've never watched an English film till my 17, 18 years, or didn't know outside world much. And today, if you tell me that he traveled around the world and then he is in a position to make a difference, positive difference to so many people and their careers. I think that's one example that's good enough for you. If this man can do it without many credentials that many people do claim, yes, you can also do that. Be honest to yourself, be truthful to yourself. You will definitely achieve what you want.
Of course, sir, you are saying, so you are like biggest example, sir. So, sir, now you watch movie?
Sorry?
You watch movie? Like, which is your favorite movie, or you currently are binge watching?
Well, I watch movies. I think our one
What's your
weakness I have
favorite
is
movie?
I watch movies big time, and I'm a movie buff.
Really?
Yeah, I am now. Yeah.
Okay, so which is your favorite one?
Oh, they keep changing every day.
Acha, you're watching this. Okay, that's my favorite, current favorite. So current favorite, you can say like you have binge watched any movie.
I think the Gehraiya was released 2 days ago. I watched it on the first day.
Okay, so
in
you
the
like
evening.
it? I mean, any reviews you wanna give?
Not
the
sure.
audience?
Probably you youngsters would have liked it, but I thought the film lost its focus. What he wanted to convey. I thought the director. I mean, at the end of the film, you should feel good, and then you should know. Well, it's not that I don't like youthful movies. I do like all youthful movies, and I'm too youthful to be associated with. But Gehraiya, I'm not sure. I
Okay.
would recommend that.
Okay, sir. Who is the most influential person in your life and why, sir?
Well, one person would be a bit difficult question because I think I was benefited by so many students and so many fellow fellow workers, colleagues, teachers, gurus, and so many people. But if I have to pick one person, I think I look back. No man is complete with a woman. And the most important woman in my life is and will be my wife, Dr. Chundi Varalakshmi. It's not just giving her name that is giving me satisfaction, because so far I've not spoken a word about what difficulties that I've faced, because that would not be interesting anyone. But if there's someone who tapped on your shoulder and said, yes, you can do this. The one who believed in myself that I can do all this when I never imagined I would be able to do that. And I think for that reason alone and for what I am today, I would credit my wife, Dr. Chundi Varalakshmi. I would say one sentence: I am not what I am without her.
Wow, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.